It makes me wonder.
What is up? This is TF coming back to you with this series, So You're New to Pump. And we're going to talk to you today about why you'd want to gear down. Why would you want to gear down? Hold on. Get you a drink before I start. Why would you want to gear down? Some people don't even understand it. The intrigue of pump play, although once a necessity, is now sort of a mystery to semi-auto players. So people will come up to you once you've converted to pump and really just kind of ask why. Why would you want to? It's just so much easier this way. And that's sort of the point. When I was playing paintball in the late 80s, no one ever shot with their left hand. They just didn't. Early paintball players, early tournament players, if you see them in the 2000s, even early 2000s, you'll see them, Kentucky Windage, they'll hang out the left side of their bunker with the marker still held in their right hand, most times on the right hand of their body. No one went to their left hand. And then we realized that, that it was a much superior position, especially in semi-auto, it was a lot easier to go to the left hand, to switch off hand. And some of you guys that are young are going, really? I mean, this is like second nature to us. Of course it's second nature. It was second nature after someone decided to do it, and we realized how superior it was. My point is that to go to the left hand, you had to practice. And in order to go to the left hand, I remember when we were trying to break ourselves of that habit of still shooting in the right hand because we were so much faster with our right hand. Our team captain on a team that I was playing on at the time, called Aces Wild, there was a couple of players, including myself, that we would tape their right hand together, and tape their fingers together so they couldn't fit it in the grip frame and force them to play left-handed. That was back in the days when there was a lot of single triggers, or if there was a double trigger, it was on a mechanical, and if all your fingers were taped together, you couldn't shoot it. So you forced yourself, you purposefully decreased your chances of an easier elimination to gain skills that you knew would pay off in the long run. Pump has become that for some people. Pump means a lot of things to a lot of people, but one of the things is you gear down to skill up. When you only have 140 rounds in the hopper and it's non-agitated, or down to 10 rounds in the tube, and it's certainly not agitated, you have to make every shot count. One of the myths I talked about in another video was, pumps are more accurate. They're not. I promise you, they're not. A lot, especially some of these new guns, they shoot super low pressure. They drive tacks with good paint, good to paint to barrel match. All things equal, I'll shoot almost any gun on the market, and after I've gotten used to it, I can shoot it just about as accurately as any pump that I've got in my hands. They're not more accurate. Pumpers tend to be more accurate. Why? They have to be. Now, with that said, go play Ryan Greenspan or Ollie Lang or Mike Paxson or some of those players. They're going to rip your freaking head off. The difference between those guys and pump players is there's 16 balls behind the one that shot you in the face versus the one that just shot you in the face. Now, Mike comes from pump days, and he'll pick up a CCM marker and rape fools today, and he's fun to watch no matter what. But, if you're coming from the semi-world, know that they're not more accurate. But when you have purposefully, and I don't want to use the word handicapped, when you've purposefully challenged yourself, you will be forced to learn certain skills, one of which is first ball accuracy, another of which is snap shooting dominance. You will have to be able to snap shoot out players from their bunkers with one ball, because that's all you've got time for. And when you come out, shoot that one ball and come back in, they're going to pound on your bunker and make sure you don't come out in that area again for a long time. Okay? You've got to be able to shoot them. One of the best feelings in the world, especially when there's people on the net, is hearing a whole group of people go, ooh, when they were railing on you with some space gun You leaned out and one ball took their goggles off and blew them through the holes in the net, and they were sitting on the bench. It's just not a better, in my opinion, a better feeling out there. Not anything against electros. I like doing it against pumpers. I like to do it against refs. I don't really care. But it's just great knowing that it was your ball. You know, it's not the paintballs don't have them on them to whom it may concern anymore. You know, it has on a dear so-and-so. It's a specific letter going to a specific location, and it better be someone's goggles or gun or butt as they're walking to the dead box because you're bonus balling them because you're all angry and have issues and need medication and stuff. Anyway, all that is on purpose. Now, if you look at the pods that I've got behind here, on the right you've got sort of the industry standard 140 round pod, and then gearing all the way down to 10 round pods. And some of these crazy cats out there load one paintball at a time, man. There's a new gun that Chipley's making right now called the SR1 that is shell fed. I look at that and go, really? You know, it's hard enough, man. But hey, get your gun on, man. Whatever you like. Anyway, I advised in another video, if you're coming from the semi-auto world, to start with that 140 rounder and just use what you have, and then gear down. Now, why would you want to carry less paint? Again, snap shooting will increase. It has to, or you can't survive. Ball-on-ball accuracy will increase. And here's another thing. In today's economy, you know, where everybody's certainly trying to save a buck, pump guns tend to be less expensive. Not high-end pump guns, but pump guns tend to be less expensive, and paint is certainly less expensive. If you're a case-a-day player, even playing rec ball, that's pretty common. I now go through a case. If I play every weekend, I'll go through a case in a month, maybe a month and a half. Depends. I'm anal about rotating my paint because I run it cheaply. So I'll pay a green fee, you know, get my fills for the day, and shoot paint that I've got in my box. If it's field paint only, I'll shoot that field paint. You know, make sure I've got good paint. So it's cheaper. It's also cheaper. But when switching from semi-auto to pump, again, you'll hear that question, why do it? There is one last thing that is a little bit different for the pump community. When you have gone from a fast, high-end marker to a pump marker, you naturally, by your gear, separate yourself from a larger group. And although it shouldn't necessarily be this way, paintball is paintball is paintball. I'll talk to any paintballer, I don't care. Good paintballers are just good paintballers. Good guys are just good guys. But you tend to have to stick together. So that gun will have you joining a community of pump paintballers. Made up of sub-communities, you know, guys that play stock class and things like that. But pump is pump is pump, as I said in another video. And you'll find yourself wanting to stick together. It's real easy to walk on a rec field, find that other pumper and go, hey man, you want to play the other day? And yeah, he'll see your pump and want to play. And then it's two pumpers, and what's awesome is after a while they might have to try to split you guys up, you know, because you've killed too many people or whatever else. But you're going to join a community, and it's because it's a smaller community, because you're in the minority at that point. Minorities tend to look out for each other, you know. Two white guys walking down the street tend not to recognize the other white guy. What's up? Two black guys, and if there's any African Americans in the crowd, no, there's always that head nod, that acknowledgement. We're in a smaller group, we've got to look out for each other. It's just a natural tendency of humans, and pumpers run that way. So by picking up that gun, you tend to join a smaller community of people where you can be taken care of. You also, however, you know, as Spider-Man said and the Bible said, with great power comes great responsibility. Once you're good with that gun, you've got to be a steward for the sport. So part of the reason I'm making these videos is to give back to the pump community that's given so much to me. But, you know, you'll be a part of a smaller sport, and then you'll see people coming up to me, man, what is that thing? And you're going to have to advertise for yourself. And what you'll find is, and I've done this so often, when I moved down to Texas, and picked my pump back up, I would go to a field, and a new field would spring up, and I'd start playing at the field, and then pumps would start coming, man. They'd see me shooting one, or another guy shooting one, or somebody else. You get it in their hands, and man, I gotta try that. And then pretty soon they're looking at you laughing. Some of them going to stock class, and you're still, what are you doing that hopper for? What's wrong with you, old man? And they're making fun and whatnot. That's a wonderful feeling. So if you want to join a smaller community, if you like to give back, if you like to challenge yourself, if you like to get better with your skills, you can even keep that fast gun. I know a lot of my players, a lot of my friends still play tournament paintball, and they'll play pump all the time. And then when they pick up that semi, they say to me, man, it's almost like cheating. There's a whole bunch behind it, you know? And that's not to say that they've become gods. It's just, I don't have to pump it. I don't have to switch hands and switch both hands, you know, and try to learn how to pump left-handed and learn how to pump right-handed. And the skill set goes up. A lot of these players will come back to me and go, man, we just played this tournament this weekend, man. I was just hurting fools. You know, they would take off running, and the first ball was on target. I'd send 15 more just because that's what I was used to and didn't need it, you know? Didn't need it. If you like to challenge yourself, if you like a smaller community, and you're a community that tends to take care of itself, I think pump is for you. You know, take a look at it. I think that's the reasons why many players go pump now. Thanks a lot.
It makes me wonder.